Hello everybody, and welcome to this very special episode of Real to Real. I'm everyone's favorite blonde babe, Gabe.
And I'm also everyone's favorite blonde babe, Aiden. To start this cold December, what better movie to do that than the classic 2003 Elf?
This is indeed a classic. Does Elf, the movie, still stand strong 20 years later, or is it just another Will Ferrell movie?
To keep the Christmas spirit high, we must sing, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch."
It's the wrong movie. Stop. Without any more jawing around, let's roll the trailer.
Hi.
Your costume is pretty.
Oh, it's not a costume. I'm an elf.
Oh.
Well, technically I'm a human, but I was raised by elves.
New Line Cinema presents the story of one elf who's coming home for Christmas.
Boy, can't wait to see my dad. We're gonna go ice skating and eat sugar plums. Sorry!
Now,
I think someone sent you a Christmasgram.
Dad!
We should call security.
Good idea.
I like to whisper too.
Buddy's experiencing a world he never knew existed,
But he's your son. What am I gonna do? He's certifiably insane.
discovering what it takes to fit in, and going where no elf has gone before.
What he needs is to be nurtured. Bring him home, introduce him to Emily and Michael.
How long do you think you'll be with us?
I was thinking like forever.
He cannot stay here.
We can't just throw him out in the snow.
He loves the snow. He's told me 15 times.
Ow! Son of a nutcracker! We can take him.
Where did you say you were from?
This holiday season,
I think you're beautiful and my tongue swells up when I am around you.
get ready
I planned out our whole day. I thought maybe we could make gingerbread houses and maybe even hold hands.
for a tall tale
How are we gonna get the star on top?
of elfish proportions.
I got it.
Will Ferrell,
Okay, people, Santa's coming to town.
Oh my God! I know him.
Elf,
Do you remember me?
Dude, I didn't recognize
I
you.
know, I'm in work clothes. I didn't know you had elves here.
You're hilarious, my friend.
Did you have to borrow a reindeer to get down here?
Hey,
You feeling strong, my friend? Call me Elf one more time.
He's an angry elf. Look at you! Ow! Buddy the elf, what's your favorite color? Put that down.
Elf is a Christmas film made all the way back in 2003 and was directed by Jon Favreau.
Elf stars Will Ferrell, James Caan, Zoe Deschanel, Mary Steenburgen, Edward Asner, and Bob Newhart. A pretty stacked cast for a Christmas movie.
The story starts out as Buddy, a human raised by Santa's elves, learns about his past and origins and goes to New York City to meet his biological father.
When he's there, he gets in a little bit of trouble. It was hard enough for him to adapt to the ways of New York City, but he finds himself in the presence of a fake Santa and gets a little upset.
Because of that, Buddy ends up fighting the fake Santa and gets arrested only to be bailed out by his father.
When Buddy and his father get home, this is where you see the iconic spaghetti and maple syrup scene.
His father doesn't really like Buddy at first, eventually leading to Buddy running away from home.
Earlier in the movie, Buddy met a girl at a Christmas store named Jovi and had the courage to ask her out, and she said yes.
With the Christmas spirit being down, Santa ends up crashing into New York City, and Buddy rushes over to help him.
Jovi starts to sing Santa Claus is coming to town, and everybody starts singing along.
This raises the Christmas spirit and saves Santa Claus and Christmas.
The story of Elf is very simple but effective. With all that being said, let's watch Buddy go to the doctor. Roll the clip.
Buddy, don't eat those.
Oh. Gotta really hurry.
hurry up, Walter, because I'm double booked the rest of the afternoon.
You're my sick.
Yeah, but that's not what we're here. We're here to do a test.
Come on, what kind of test?
Just a test to find out if you're my son or not.
Why am I sitting on paper?
Because it's sanitary for the other patients. Now sit still so I can do the finger prick.
Finger prick. Oh, it's cold.
Yeah, just please sit still, please.
Okay, can I listen to your necklace?
No, you can't. Can you just sit still?
Why is there a skeleton
I
on the
don't
wall?
know what.
If
Walter,
I
could you
squint, it looks
please?
like a pirate
Could you
flag.
please have him sit
Does he
still
have
so
a
I can
name?
do
No,
this?
he hasn't got a name. I'm
I
sorry,
have a lot
Ben.
of
I'm
patients
sorry. Would you
waiting.
please sit still, please?
He got mad at me.
Yes, he did. He did. The sooner you sit still, the sooner we can get this mess over with.
Okay.
Then can we eat sugar plums?
You betcha. We'll eat sugar plums and gingerbread houses, and we'll even paint eggs.
Well, paint eggs, that's easier. Oh! My finger has a heartbeat.
The 2003 Elf movie had an estimated budget of $33 million and made about $32 million on opening weekend. In 2023, the recorded gross amount worldwide is about $227 million.
Production fact for you. They used forced perspective to make Will Ferrell look like a giant.
Following that, Jim Carrey was initially eyed to play Buddy for Elf, but Will Ferrell was eventually casted instead.
Several minor traffic accidents occurred when Will Ferrell walked through the Lincoln Tunnel in his costume. Apparently, it was because people were surprised and they were distracted from the road.
This movie took advantage of shooting in Canada for financial benefits, but they tried to shoot it in New York whenever possible. This includes Manhattan, Rockefeller Center, Central Park, and Central Park West.
Buddy's excessive sugar intake caused Will Ferrell to actually become very sick and even caused him insomnia for a couple of days.
From November 2010 to January 2011, Elf the Musical ran on Broadway. This was a huge success, taking in more than $1.4 million in 1 week.
To celebrate the movie's 20th anniversary, Elf made appearances in select theaters across the U.S. The Empire State Building even glowed green and yellow lights as well.
In an early version of Elf, Buddy was actually scripted to be bullied by the elves, but for being too different.
The director actually pushed them to take that element out because he wanted the North Pole characters to be warm when Buddy bugs them.
Well, I think that's enough ridiculous facts. We have to make sure we can pay the elves for their handiwork. We will be back after the commercial.
We really try and keep track of what's going on in the world as far as what are the trends. And so when a student comes here, they're learning the marketing aspects of video production with turnkey. So they learn how to write, storyboard, and capture video, set lights, set audio, and then they learn how to edit everything from start to finish.
We believe that we are providing a transformative educational experience. It's hands-on, it's project-based, it's portfolio-based, it's based on real-world industry experiences.
They take deep dives on all of these. You know, a lot of the classes are tiered, so you get an entry-level course and then an advanced, and then, you know, you hit your capstone projects where you're bringing them all together. So it's nice the way that they structure it and help you get a deeper understanding of stuff that you may or may not have thought you already had a good handle on.
To start off, this one is one of my favorite Christmas movies ever made. I don't really like Christmas movies anyway, but this is such a classic and a childhood staple for me. Will Ferrell's acting performance, I get some people don't like, but as a child I didn't care about who or how somebody was acting. I watched it because it was on the TV. And Buddy was just always a great character to me. The amount of iconic scenes this movie has living rent-free in my head when Christmas comes around is no joke. Especially the scene at the Christmas store. If you know, you know. The plot of the movie I feel is simple, but kind of confusing at times. When I was a child, I just thought Buddy was dressed up as an elf for fun. But now watching it again, he's actually an elf, kinda. But from my childhood to now, the singing scenes hold a special place in my heart and will forever be on my TV during the Christmas time. I'm going to give Elf a 5 out of 5. Maybe the movie itself should be a little lower based on the plot, camera work, and other things of that nature. But little Gabe doesn't care about all that. Little Gabe just cares about what was on the TV. So for that, I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 5, respectively. Aiden, what did you think about the movie?
Well, little Gabe, I thought he was just wrong. Just so wrong. So wrong, in fact. I didn't really like this movie. I disliked it. I find this movie gross and creepy. I just don't find any of the actors in this movie funny. The dialogue feels forced and unoriginal, especially the scene where Will Ferrell eats the big disgusting dessert breakfast concoction or whatever the heck that is, with syrup and spaghetti and all that stuff. I just don't understand the appeal of this scene at all. And I hardly find it amusing. Let's talk about the overall plot of the movie. Buddy grows up in North Pole with Santa and believes that he's an elf. But eventually he grew bigger and bigger, and he didn't understand why he didn't fit in. Maybe this because a brick was dropped on his head or something. And he thinks that a 6' 3" tall man can be an elf. He travels to New York City to find his biological father, and boy, was James Caan not excited to play his role as Buddy's father. I mean, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be a part of this atrocious film either. Anyways, the movie drags on with more gags and jokes that just weren't good, and then we get to the point where, oh my gosh, Buddy needs his dad's help to save Santa and Christmas. This movie was just so unoriginal that I'm going to have to give my all-time least favorite Christmas movie a 1 out of 5 reels. I really can't stand Will Ferrell's performance in this movie, and the only thing enjoyable was the production quality. And with that, Gabe, tell me, is this really your favorite Christmas movie? I need to know. I need to know.
No, I'll just leave it at that. I haven't really watched many Christmas movies, but Elf is one of my favorites because it was always on the TV, and I always watched it. So, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite's got to be the old classics, man. Like the old Rudolph, the claymation one, or like Frosty the Snowman. Like that's what I grew up with. Elf, ever as a kid, I just did not like Elf. It really just was not at all just good. I don't know. I just the scenes were just so bad to me. Like they were just creepy and gross, and I just don't know. So,
I think we'll agree to disagree on that one. But, well, on that note, we are reaching the end of our show.
Don't forget to tune in to our next show at noon, and if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to receive updates of new uploads.
If you're watching this on our Facebook page, make sure to follow us and you'll be notified the next time we go live.
Again, my name is Zayden, and along with my elf friend here, Gabe, we hope to see you next time on
Real
Santa's Nice List.
Cut the